Hi everybody, I am joined by Konstantinos and Leo from Bellum, and today we're here to talk about a bit more Conquest. So, guys, it's great to have you back in the studio. It's been a while. How have you been?
You start.
Good. It's been great. I mean, first of all, thank you again for having us here. And since our last visit, we've been to a lot of shows. We've been to back then in Essen. We've done our whole trip through the U.S.
Oh yeah.
We went from Gamma in Reno all the way to Adepticon Chicago. So that was a blast. We got the opportunity to meet a lot of people there. So we were very busy preparing for our launch, but we had a great time there.
I think that's the biggest news.
I think that's it.
Launch.
Yeah, that's a good segue to that. We're launching June 20th.
Mm-hmm. Now that's really exciting because finally people are going to get the final production models in their hands and start being able to play with them. I mean, like, I know Konstantinos, you've given me some images to actually start showing off here, and it's now, are these the Wave 1 or what are these?
Well, let's go through them, and I'll explain what we see as we go through them. Let's go.
Okay, so first up,
that's our flagship. Let's say that's our starter set. It's the core box set, as we call it. It's a 2-player kit. I think it's actually right there. Yeah, it's a 2-player kit, so it contains both of our starting factions, the 100 Kingdoms and the Spires. You can see the kind of the technical numbers there. I'll let Leo go through those.
Yeah, so the basic set for us is a great way for someone to get into Conquest, and it was very important for us to make sure that we give you a good deal straight from the very beginning. So we're going to start off with 75 miniatures, so there's a very chunky content there. You start with the Abomination right in the box.
Oh, yeah,
you start with the 3 Brutes, with the 3 Knights. Yeah, that's pretty big miniature. We really wanted to make sure you get a good starting size force to play with your friend. So that's very good. Actually, we also going to be including in there 2 characters that are going to be in plastic. So the Noble Lord, the Mounted the Knight, and the Fairmancer for the Spires. And we throw a little extra stuff in there. We put 6 objective markers that were themed to each faction. Right, so people can use for their scenarios and so on. So that was very important to us to give a good set, a good box.
Of course, also the rule book is there. Obviously,
and your command cards and your dice. And
exactly.
And also, I'd like to mention that the rules are always for free online, so you'll be able to get them there as well.
Yeah, well, it's one thing I'm noticing with this, because of the style of game that Conquest is, having the different types of unit on the tabletop, having very different rules. You're representing them really well. So you've got some light units in there, some heavy units in there, some monstrous stuff. So people are really going to get a good feel for the actual style of play right out of this one box from what I can see here.
That's right.
At least that's what I'm saying. I could be wrong. I could be talking out in the back end.
That's right. I mean,
that's actually very true. And it's how we've set up our demos so far in all the shows that we've been, exactly to show the mechanics of how each of the type of unit works and what role it plays.
Well, I mean, like, it's the one thing that has always stuck with me since I first did a demo game with you guys on camera was that pushing of the actual deployment area, that how far can I send my guys forward before my opponent's going to start moving past my lines to start eating into that sort of safe zone for my stuff to deploy. And if my opponent's really good at doing that, all of a sudden my heavy stuff that's quite slow, it's going to start a little further back and it's going to have to fight through that spearhead.
So the game on its own supports a lot having various unit in your army list, right? The light, medium, and heavy forces sort of play, and the fact that everything comes in waves in different points in the game really reinforces the idea of having a little bit of everything in your army, and that's why it's important to have a good variation of the stuff you're going to get in your starter set.
Exactly, and that it looks as if you've engineered that in here really, really nicely. All right, next up. Ooh.
Well, along with the core box set, we're going to be launching expansion packs with everything that is in the core box set in terms of units, not the characters yet. So this is, I'm not going to say our pride and joy because everything, not only in the box, but everything that's coming is our pride and joy. We take very great pride in all the units that we make. Of
course.
If not, we don't make them. That's kind of our philosophy. Yeah. So this is the Abomination. It's like the heavy artillery, or now, well, not artillery literally, but of the Spires. And more mechanically, I think Leo.
Actually, the Abomination, it's a heavy monster, but you'll see that they're little hint there. They're gonna be getting heavier stuff as well, right? So the Abomination, in terms of gameplay, is a monster that is it can move up the field really fast. It's very good at striking from the flanks. It can take some punishment, but any dedicated melee regiment will give it a hard time.
Yeah.
Right. But the Abomination is a tool to flank your opponent and really hit them hard where it hurts the most.
And it does have a real fear factor to it.
Yeah.
If you're playing as the 100 Kingdoms and you see maybe 2 of these coming across the table at you, you're going to think, okay, I need to deal with that right now.
It's terrifying, literally and metaphorically. Literally, it has the rule terrifying.
Yes.
So that's that works in there. And metaphorically, it really it's a really good piece to threaten space in the game.
Yeah. Next up, we have some more for the Spire.
Yeah, these are the force-grown drones. It's kind of the
quite opposite.
Exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
This is for the Spires themselves. These are the expendable units, literally. But literally, these guys have a lifespan of about a few weeks at most from the moment of activation, because these are genetically created through biomancy, which is the magic that the Spires master. They are creations. They don't have an immune system, so all those bandages you see around their flesh are actually filled with antiseptics and stuff like that to keep them going more. So it's a given that they're going to die.
Yeah.
The only question is when it's the most opportune time to die.
Yeah.
Good to mention here that here you also see a command. You see the banner. Now the command is not going to be included in the starter set, but you're going to be getting all the extra pieces when you get the expansion. So there's quite a few more things.
Yeah, so
to get in
it does buff up those forces then.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Next up, the big ones.
We all love them.
Yeah.
We all like them. They're the bird drones.
Yeah.
They're beefy miniature. It's pretty much what happens if you let the force grown drones cook a little bit longer.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, sort of literally, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
You imagine the biomancers there and just a pinch of oops.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a pinch of more of whatever it is I'm making.
Yeah, I have to say I'm loving the style of painting you went for the final miniatures in the image here. Look really nice. They've got a really cool dead sort of feel to them.
Thank you.
Very nice. Next, 100 Kingdoms.
That I have to say is one of my favorites from the from the first products we launched. It's that banner. Everything you see actually is sculpted. It's there.
Lovely.
So the lion, the sun, the writing, they're all sculpted for you.
Nice.
And I think that helps the players as well.
Yeah. It's one of the things we found out. I mean, we've said that before. We've talked about it before. Is that we really like the larger scale exactly because it lends itself to pick out all these different details when you paint the models. And so given that we have all this space and room to work with, we really wanted to give a really imposing banner to really give you a good chunky command there.
Yeah, and the actual sculpt itself, you've captured a really nice sense of flowing movement without it being ridiculous, because sometimes I see sculpts where they're trying to catch a dynamic moment in the sculpt, and they just take it that one step too far. You guys are hitting it pretty much nail on the head. It looks heroic, it looks like they're right in the middle of the charge, and it's just really cool. Again, beautiful paint job.
With our sculpts, we try to do what we try to do with everything in the game. We try to put, it's a fantasy, but it's also, we want it to be realistic, in brackets. So I think we also do that with our sculpts, or we try to, at least. And you can see that oral sculptures, when they work, they actually have like open images of horses or with people and stances, so that we exactly can capture specific moments and movements in the muscles and everything that are something that is familiar because you've seen it in actual real life.
One of my favorite things that I noticed, sorry to interrupt there, is that people, for example, when we have the marksman clones that we saw before, there are people that know archery and they're like, this is actually pretty spot on. Yeah, this is like how people are. This is how people pose and how they stand when they fire a bow. So this is actually we really want to make sure that we capture a sense of authenticity and originality. I mean, you can only be as realistic as you can in a game about fantasy. Especially when
said archers have 3 hands,
especially but we want to give it this authenticity that people can relate to, and that's very important to us.
Well, it's a balance you always have to strike, because it's a representation, not a recreation, but you can throw a little taste of recreation in there just to ground it in reality a little bit more and make it feel right, because that's again something you could just do a very strange pose where it's this crazy archer with 5-6 arms behind but actually just keeping it within the realms of possibility of what someone could do, what the stance would be, what looks natural for a body to do. it makes a miniature look nicer.
Yeah.
That's what we tried to do, and we hope you succeed.
Well,
You tell us.
I'm saying yes. Next up, we have Mercenary Crossbowmen.
Yeah, yeah.
Another actually the Cursemen are pretty, like, in terms of gameplay, they're like a tool for the 100 Kingdoms. They have, they're one of the lighter units. They the regiments, they come in from the beginning of the game. They have armor piercing shots, so that's very good at dealing with the light and medium enemy forces. But at the same time, of course, they suffer from a little bit shorter range. So it's about, the Cursemen are about being at the right place at the right time, and they can really hurt, these skirmishers that are trying to mess with your lines.
Again, see, I would probably run maybe 2 units of these out on the flanks just to start harassing things, just to make things just slow down a little bit, give me the pace of game I want to play.
Yeah.
That would be my thinking on the tactic for them. Again, I could be wrong. What do I know?
And actually, that's pretty spot on. Like, the 100 Kingdoms really do want to make sure they bring the right tools at the right time, and sometimes they need time to move to where they need to be. So units like that really helps you slow down the game against the faction that is more about rushing.
I think that's also kind of a representation of the lore, that the 100 Kingdoms are outgunned, at least so far, in many ways. So tactics, yeah, was that about the so far? Well, we'll see. But tactics is their main tool right now. They need to play smart. They need to play with the tools that they have against monstrosities that they haven't even seen in ages. They belong to myths, and now they're knocking at their front door.
I think my favorite sculpt has to be this guy right in the front, in the middle, with the telescope.
Yeah.
He's just hunting targets for that unit.
He's like directing fire.
Yeah, and it's nicer to have a command unit that's not, they're over there, actually something functional where it looks like he's about to just scan the horizon to see what he can hunt down. Really cool. Oh yes, Men at Arms.
Men at Arms.
Well, this is the
meat and potatoes, I think, of the 100 Kingdom army. I mean, they are, they really are the Men at Arms, along with some one or two other 100 Kingdom units, would be considered the mainstay of a force of the 100 Kingdoms. I think lore wise and game wise as well. They're medium infantry. They're very good at securing a position and making sure that wherever you send them, they're going to stay there. At the same time, dish out some damage. And many times they can be really the anvil to hold your forces until you bring the proper tools.
Yeah, that bulwark against the rushing horde. Again, gorgeous sculpts, and I'm loving the armor design that you've done here, because it doesn't feel like it's just a guy with tons of plate on him. You can actually see there's a mixture of plate and leather mixed in this, which actually makes, again, them feel proper for the role that they're playing within the game.
That is actually one of the main things about them. They are professional soldiers. There is a militia. We're going to come to that later on. But they are professional soldiers. They know what they're doing. Their armor is functional and proper. It's not, but even in the case of the militia, of course, I think we've spoken about this before, that they are organized militia. They're not like, they don't just get pitchforks and go stand a line because they have to. They actually have some training. These are a step above, or even 2 steps above. This is what they've been trained for. This is what they do for their life. Other people make pottery. These guys make war.
What is their profession?
Exactly. What is your profession?
Exactly.
Professional soldier. I prefer, not war. War is not a profession.
Lovely stuff. And then these guys, Steel Legion.
Steel Legion, yeah. I'm very excited about their banner, to be honest. I really like it.
Very nice.
This is going to be the first expansion coming that is outside the core box set. It's going to come, I think, a little later.
Next month. So June 20, we get at the end of June we get the starter set, and then the next month you're gonna get the Steel Legion, these guys, and you're also gonna be getting the Marksman clones. So.
And are you guys planning a quite rapid heartbeat for the actual release rate, or are you just gonna let things stabilize and let people just build into it?
We have a very intense release schedule, and that's actually one of the reasons we're doing it now, is that we have enough, we've prepared ourselves enough to be able to support it. And we want to make sure that we're going to be putting the 100 Kingdoms and the Spires, and then we have the Dragom and the Nords that are going to be coming out. So, and we want to make sure that we populate these 4 factions quickly, because big part of what we want to do is that we want to do organized play, we want to do tournaments, and so we want to make sure people get fleshed out factions to choose their forces from.
Basically, you want to feed the consumer what they need to actually keep them in, keep them playing, and keep them enjoying it.
Yeah, and it's one of the reasons that we actually wanted to make sure that we have this backlog of for everything that we're going to release before.
You guys have done tons of prep from what I've seen over the years. I mean, like, I remember seeing you, how many years ago is it now, whenever I first saw you guys at a show?
I think it's about two.
Yeah. And all of that time has been prep, getting ready for that launch. So very impressive, and it looks as if you've been really considerate with it. So what do these guys do on the table?
On the table, what do these guys not do?
I will actually quote one of our followers on Facebook when we posted that on Facebook, and his response is, "Don't let them hit you first," or something along lines.
Yeah.
And he has a good point. He makes a very good point.
These guys are so we said a little bit before about how 100 Kingdoms are all about bringing the tools at the right place. They're one of the tools, and they are one of the elite infantry. They hit hard. They have, in terms of gameplay, they get a good cleave too that reduces your armor by 2, and so they're a good answer to the Abomination.
Gotcha. So
right?
Everybody needs a sledgehammer.
Yeah, and they come with a sledge sword. Sword. Yeah.
I don't think anybody made that weapon ever.
Sledge sword.
You know? I know they probably tried in Dead Rising 3, but no.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah. Next up, we have more of the Spires. So these are the archers.
Marksman clones.
That's going to be released with the Steel Legion. It's in the month after our initial launch. This is the first expansion for the Spires. And it's the realistic three arm archers that we were talking about.
Yeah, but if you look at, you've got a nice mixture of poses in there for different stages of firing, different poses for actually taking the stance to fire. It works really well.
Actually, and it's very realistic. It follows the lore quite well, given how they're all about rapid firing. So they fire it well, pretty much.
Yeah.
So they're at a point you'll see them that there are different stages of firing exactly because that's what they do. They're not firing like they want to just make it rain. Like when it comes
turrets.
Pretty much.
Yeah, very cool stuff. And then this is something I wanted to talk to you guys about. So you guys did a ridiculously huge American road trip. Starting off in Santa Carla, ending in Chicago, yeah?
Yeah.
That's now that I'm seeing it, you know, I know. Now that it actually hits me now that I see it. It was a blast. We had a great time doing the trip, and something that is very important to us is that, I mean, the way we see it is that we're all part of the same gaming community. We're all part of our gaming community, and we want to come to your stores, into your communities, and play the game with you.
Yes.
We really like to know who the people that will play Conquest and that are interested in the Conquest. We really want to hear the feedback, and we really want to make sure like we do something right. So, and that's why we went to all these different cities, and we were fortunate enough. We were very lucky for stores to have us and talk to us and bring their people in and play the game with us. And we had excellent feedback. We had a very generous reception, and we're very happy that we did this trip. And we would like to plan more of those.
Yeah.
All right, quick question. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, out of 8 stops, this is the most important question you can ask anyone about visiting America. Which of these 8 stops had the best food?
The best food.
That's difficult.
It is difficult.
You know, I don't think that's it's very fair, because we used to very different palate, like to very different food.
Yeah, I know.
But I think, oh man, I'm thinking of the comments underneath of anything I say.
There's no win here, man.
There's no win.
There's no win. Just be honest. Let's be honest.
The favorite place that had the best was America.
For me, it's anytime I go to Chicago, they do the best food. Although I do love New York pizza. I'm going to put it out there right now.
Okay, but what I will say, a disclaimer, is that exactly because we had to make so many stops, we didn't have a lot of time to spend at every place.
That's what I wanted to say.
And most of the times we ate at places out of convenience, simply because that's the only time we had.
Yeah. Well, you've got some pictures of the road trip, so
bring them up. Go ahead.
So
this is a typical day.
We had to pack and unpack this perhaps every other day.
That
was interesting.
So load up, roll out.
Yeah.
There's your favorite spot. Five Guys.
I was going to say that for me, it's not one of the best food I've had there, but
I mean,
I am going to take a stance between a huge argument that exists in the US.
Okay.
This is my pick.
Okay.
I'm not going to say against who or what,
I'm
but
gonna say
this is my
something.
pick.
This is not endorsed from Five Guys. This is,
No, by the
this
way,
is
no.
not a
They don't
plug.
even know me.
This is not a plug.
You guys are coming to UK Games Expo this year, aren't you?
That's right.
Yeah.
If you go into Birmingham, they have Five Guys.
Yeah, we've had the
because I insisted. I was like, they have Five Guys? Yeah, we're going.
Abandon the expo. Abandon the expo. Go eat Five Guys.
So Five Guys do not know us. We're not endorsed by them.
And we
But if they do know us, please
send us burgers.
send us stuff.
What the image of someone just walking up to you at expo now going, oh,
I'll give you spruce.
I'll name a character after you.
and then where was this at?
Well, it says so there. Come on, Justin.
It's one of the soft flats.
It's actually where you see, where they do all the speed testing with these
yes.
very weird long cars that
Yeah,
go
the
at
jetpack
extremes.
cars.
Yeah, exactly. This is where they do, well, not only this.
They're one of the
animation,
two
but-
places. Yeah, I think there's one in Death Valley, California, that they do it,
Yeah.
and the other place is there. Actually, you'll notice the water behind it. It's actually the time of year that we went. It's like it has this water. It has water, but during the summer, everything evaporates and it becomes like the soil is like the perfect
Wow.
conditions to do
Yeah.
these sort of. speed
Because
testing, yeah.
even the water you see there, it's actually like you can step on it.
Oh, right, so it's only like a couple
it's
inches
like
deep?
this deep. It's
Oh, wow.
it's nothing.
you would see people like driving through the water just to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
through that. Yeah.
which
was-
we didn't want. We didn't.
We didn't want to try
do
with
it.
a rental.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
like,
let's not test that insurance.
yeah.
And then I'm guessing this is one of the clubs?
Yeah, we were happy enough that people to meet a lot of people actually, and they were very. That's something that I wanted to say, that we felt very welcome because people were not only very interested, but they were also very polite, very open to suggest us, you should go to this place and that
Yeah,
place.
yeah, yeah.
And of course, they wanted to play the game, and that was amazing to see Leo play the game.
What, were you just sitting there going, I wrote all this. Would you like to read?
But yeah, we were very glad to see people's reactions, because we also met a lot of people that haven't seen the game before,
Yeah.
and they wanted to try it out. And it's always good, to go to people's like where gathering places and just play the game with them. And I'm very happy to see how a lot of people really appreciated the fact that we
Yeah, that is
flew
true.
across the Atlantic
Yeah.
to go and see them in person. So that was very. Actually, there were people that they were like, "Oh, we were waiting for this. We saw the post and we were like hyped." And so they went to. We met them in Farmington, and so they came to us to play the game, and like we were excited about this. We went there, and then they went and saw us in Adepticon as well, played again.
Nice.
So we were very happy about that.
So I'm gonna tell this, that it appeared to me that it was a huge deal for some of the people that already knew us, but that also was a huge deal for us to see
Yeah.
the enthusiasm
Yeah.
behind the anticipation that there is behind this game. So it gives you, more energy, more will to do more.
Well, whenever you spent years on a project, seeing that light in someone's eye whenever they get the tactic or they pull off a nice move, it's just really nice feeling.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right. Another gaming club.
Yeah, played the game again, explaining the rule set, showing off some of the miniatures and what's there. But the idea remains the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, really cool. And then now this is something I wanted to talk to you about. You guys have partnered up with the Army Painter.
That's right, and
That is
that's
true.
something we announced a little bit of. We're announcing actually right now in the U.S. We are going to be working with our friends from Army Painter. We're very fortunate to have a group of experienced people when it comes to wargaming, to paints and to basing material. And for us, it was we were very happy to get this to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love Bo and the guys over there. They're a little crazy, but they do great work.
Well, so are we. So it was a good
So
fit.
yeah, so wait. I mean, when you do these kind of like this is a size comparison and it's and a seamless plug of the Abomination next to the Iron Painter cat. But
Now, was it primed with Army Painter?
yeah, that was actually the point of this picture. This picture is like how large the Abomination is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
And
is.
this
a
is what you
huge
get.
baby.
Many times, like scale is lost when you see a photo of something on its own. You cannot really always
Yeah,
tell
if
the
you're trying
scale.
to fit everything into the same
But
layout.
if you take your miniature and put it right next to a product of a company you work with,
Yeah.
the same, like you can show the scale pretty well.
And then, is there anyone else you're working with?
Yeah. there we go.
MicroArt.
MicroArt Studios.
What are you doing with those guys?
Now, MicroArt Studios, they're going to be doing thematic stands and bases for us.
Cool.
So
And terrain buildings
and also
as well.
after that, they're going to be doing terrain features. They're going to be getting. It's very important for us. They really nailing the whole aesthetic of each faction, and they're really making stands of like that really resonate with the faction itself. We've actually took some photos on our social media about what they made so far, but in the future we're going to be making posts about and giving photos about like full trays and so what they've been doing.
Again, I love what the guys over at MicroArt do. They have a really clear vision of what they want to lay out for folks. Because I mean, like they've been doing design for stuff for years. So seeing them work with you guys, very curious to see what they do.
And we started with a very good collaboration that they wanted. There's an ongoing communication concerning the designs, and so because they wanted to properly represent the world that we made. And to fit what we're making. So we're exchanging back and forth views of how this could be better, how this could be better. Does this fit? Does this? How does it work?
That's all part of the craft.
I know, and it's actually super exciting to see now another party coming in the creative process and bringing their expertise into it. So far, it looks great.
Yeah. Now, something very important to talk about for everybody at home is what shows are you guys going to be at this year if they're going to want to come and see you and actually have a look at your game.
Well,
Expo we know.
Yeah,
UK Expo.
UK Expo. Next stop.
Then for the first time, we're going to be attending Gen Con.
It's huge. I'll warn you now. It is huge.
We've been warned that it is huge repeatedly, and we're going to be having demo tables there. We're going to be having everything we need to get people play the game and see us and ask us every question that they have. But yeah, Gen Con is a big one for us. It's the first year that we're going there.
Yeah.
It's also kind of a huge tradition. And to be part of that becomes something special.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, last year they had a huge anniversary. So anytime you can jump in on something like that that's got such history, such legacy to it, definitely worth doing. That and the crowd that it draws is ridiculous. You know, I mean, like I've never seen so many geeks and gamers brought together under like one banner.
I can't wait.
And they have food trucks. Which is always fun.
We're coming to Gen Con. We're coming to Gen Con.
Not for Gen Con though, for the food trucks.
I feel now I shouldn't be saying stuff about Five Guys and then saying I'm going to be eating elsewhere.
Oh, you feel like you're cheating on them?
Now I'm feeling I had to play this a little better since we already had. But
yeah, but I think that's all the images you've sent through.
Yeah.
What else was there to talk about with you guys? Well, we have some of the physical stuff in the studio with us.
Since we're talking a little bit about the events, first of all, we would like to give a shout out for the people that we had quite a lot of volunteers for in the for Essence Spiel. We want to give a shout out to Hobby Biker Swissheim for coming and helping us out.
Awesome.
And we had volunteers in the US. Shout out to Ian and Sam for helping us out. And of course, we'd like to mention that for our events in Gen Con and in Germany later on, we're going to be doing. We will be looking for people that if they want to come and help and play the game with us and get to know us and join our Bellum family for the duration of the show, would really appreciate it. And we would, of course, we're gonna make sure that you get some really cool sprues and freebies.
Yeah, it's always nice to have drones. I mean,
we affectionately is like forced to play drones.
I like that. That's cool.
But
is there a specific way they should try and reach out via your Facebook or?
Our Facebook would be the best medium of communication with us. Of course, the info mail is always very important. And as we move on, actually, I'd like to answer a question that we've been getting. We've been asked whether there's going to be a more formal volunteer program, and there will be in the future. For now, you reach us directly, and then we're going to be working on for a program like that in the future.
Right, so like Biomancer's Apprentice.
Biomancer's Apprentice, yeah. I think it sounds a little better than Forced to Play Drone.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, but
I'm good with Forced to Play Drone.
Right, so there's something sitting on the table. I'm not sure if everybody out there has been able to see it, but there's something been sitting just in the background a little bit here. Is it okay for me to show this off?
Absolutely. So since we were talking about other factions and what we're going to be doing, we have the Hellbringer Drake. Now this is something, a little something, which is not little, from the Dragom. Actually, if we could like if you notice how like scale how big it is compared
Oh,
to
Yeah,
just
to the
models.
actual guys.
Yeah.
To the
Well,
actual
Han, do
guys.
you want to pass me in the Abomination
Yeah, sure.
we can show here?
Sure.
We have an
So-
Abomination on the
So
the
there's
chart.
him, and there's an Abomination.
Yeah,
beside
the
it.
Drake is big, and actually,
is
this is one of the
chunky.
things that are going to be one of the first things that the Drake that's going to be coming out with Dragom. It's going to be coming at the close to the beginning of them releasing.
I absolutely adore this thing. I want one right now. Can I keep this?
But I'll make sure. I mean, actually, one of my plans is to make you start all of the armies in Conquest.
Yeah. So.
So
no,
slowly you're going to be finding things in the mail, and eventually you're going to be playing every army.
Well, I've actually been talking to some of the guys in the studio. Honestly, Warren has been eyeing up the 100 Kingdoms. He loves the design of those. I think Lloyd is actually looking at what's the other ones?
The Spires.
Spires, yeah. And me, Dwegom, that's right in my wheelhouse. It's that or the Nordic style guys.
You choose wisely with Dwagom.
Well, the Dwegom, they have big cannons. And how can you go wrong with big cannons?
These are huge flamethrowers.
Oh, right. Flamethrowers.
That's even that's
Kind of.
yeah, it's,
Kind of.
It's kind of flame given how it fires. I mean, but I think the best if there would be a mix between a cannon and a flamethrower, like I think it would be close to
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
it is.
because these are not exactly cannons in the traditional sense.
So
There's
are you telling me it launches petrol bombs? Because I'm Irish, like, that works.
yeah, I guess you could say it. But yeah, it's going to be a beast on the table. It's all about close range fire support. By fire, that wasn't a pun, but it's just supporting like shooting. But of course, you always with the shooting monsters, you always have to play them a little smart because you can fire at everything and everybody can see you back because you're size 3. That's a pretty big miniature. So you always have to pick your flank and make sure you're not going to draw a lot of attention, which probably you will.
Yeah, well, big and mean looking. They'll
Big
come
and
after
mean
you.
looking, but it can hold its own in combat as well.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, like, I would probably have this maybe sitting just behind, like, an artillery position with some Dwagom infantry just up the front.
Yeah.
Come and break through if you can.
Yeah, that's a good solid tactic.
Yeah. All right, now, one other thing we have sitting here is this massive pile of sprues.
Oh, did you notice? Did you?
Did we? I forgot I put them there.
I would like to have a look at some of these because you were telling me off camera these are the production ones now?
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
I'm very curious to see just what we're getting on these. So the first thing I've got is 100 Kingdoms Cavalry.
That's
Actually
this
that's the
is-
2 characters.
This is
I
the
see.
so let me see. So this one, this is the sprue for the Noble Lord that you saw. This is the 100 Kingdom character. And here you see like we said, the thematic objective markers. So they're going to be using as objectives, and right next to that you see the Ferromancer, the Spire character.
Ooh, he's turned out really nice. And the cast you've got on the plastic, everything it's right, it's tight, it's straight. I'm super happy with that. This is all hard plastic, yeah?
Yeah.
Love
Plastic glue will do the job.
it. Yeah. All right, let's have a look at one or two more of these. So this is some of the weapon arms.
These are
that is the brute.
The brute drones. That's right.
Super crisp detail. Everything looks as if it's going to go together really nice.
And given how muscle bound they are, actually, you'll notice that the arms, they're ball sockets on the shoulder, so it gives you a lot of flexibility.
Yeah.
You can choose between the different set of weapons between, and you can make sure that even if you buy 2 or 3, you get all these different brutes. You can always make like a unique brute and make them look different.
Now you've got the big sort of club pieces, but then you've got these really intricately designed guitars, which just look really good. What else we got here?
Oh,
Now,
that's
the next sprue you see here is half of the Abomination. The Abomination comes in 2 sprues, so this is one half of part, I believe, 8. And this is the other side where you see the head and the other part of the body.
I'm gonna have to get a play with some of these sprues because the design aspect on them is really, really pleasing.
And yet, this is actually one of our most poseable miniatures.
Really?
You'll see that there are a lot of ball sockets on like high up on the legs and then on the arms. So you get about on the legs alone, you get about 8 ball sockets on the legs, on the 4 legs Well, so you make sure you can always put them in different ways.
Yeah.
And important part is that you also see different paws for the Abomination. You wouldn't call them paws, but like for lack of a better term, it's cute. It's a little cute thing.
Paws.
You get a different like feet for the Abomination, and also you can see that some are gripping. So if you make like a scenic base that you want the fingers to be wrapped around it, you can do it, and we've given you like parts for that.
That's going to be fun for those out there who like to convert.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different poses there, so we wanted to make sure you get as many poses, different poses as you can.
And is this sort of an idea of what comes in your 2-player starter set?
Yeah, so apart
that's a hunk of plastic.
That's a lot of stuff. That's right. That's a lot of stuff. Like we said, we want to make sure you get a good deal. You get a good bunch of miniatures to play with your friends to start the game. A good range of different things. Yeah. And I'm pretty happy that we've nailed it when it comes to that.
Yeah. All right. I have one sneaky little question before we go away, and it's something I like to ask. You're getting some production sprues in. Would it be possible to throw up a little prize for everybody at home? You know, just like a little mystery bundle of sprues, just something for them to play with?
Absolutely. Can they name the best food in the US?
Go ahead. Your favorite American food. That's the challenge. Don't say Five Guys. That's disqualified.
I mean, we haven't decided yet. We're at a weird point with who we're going to prefer. So we're going to see.
Yeah, but I think that, that sounds amazing.
Bundle?
Yeah, sure.
More than happy. We'd be more than happy. Actually, there are going to be 2 gifts going. One to one lucky viewer that's going to get a mystery bundle, and these are for you.
Oh, thank you.
To keep and possibly to get you hooked up on the game.
I was going to say, and start 2 armies. There you go, Justin.
You know,
my plan is unfolding, by the way.
There is a reason we call it plastic crack. You know, just tap it to my veins.
That's right. So yes,
I'm pretty sure we can condone that. But
no.
Yeah.
My legal background's like flaring off here. It's like, no.
It's all in good fun. All right. Anything we missed? Anything you'd like to mention before we close out?
Anything you'd like to ask? No, I think we're covered.
Yeah.
I think we covered it all. Yeah. All right, everybody, tell you what, get those comments in below and you could win yourself a nice little mystery bundle from the guys at Bellum.